The other part of 10.1 and 10.2 is finding the average rate of change for one of these cube root or square root functions. In general, and this is something I would definitely put in your notes, the formula for average rate of change in general for any function is going to be the y-coordinates, and I'm just going to use letters to stand for our coordinates, so the difference of y-coordinates, remember f of x is a y-coordinate, over the difference in x-coordinates. Okay. So for our function, the x-coordinates are given to us on the endpoints of this interval. So the x-coordinates are 0 and 7. So I'm going to start at x equals 0. So for x equals 0, if I plug 0 into my function, I have the cube root of 0 plus 1. I would do the addition first and then the cube root. So the cube root of 1, which is 1. And I'm going to do x equals 7. So f of 7 would be the cube root of 7 plus 1, or the cube root of 8. And the cube root of 8 is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So now if I want to find the average rate of change, I'm going to use 2. Well, I'm going to put this into notation so we can see it. I'm going to use f of 7 minus f of 0 over 7 minus 0. F of 7 was 2, f of 0 was 1, and 7 minus 0 is 7. So the average rate of change is 1/7 on that interval. Means the slope between the origin and x equals 7 for this function is going to be a rise of 1 and a run of 7, which makes sense. This graph is not very steep if you've seen it. It's just, you have seen it. It's not very steep. It's a shallow graph. So it makes sense that the slope is a small number. Sometimes you will need a calculator to calculate these things. Sometimes you'll need to calculate the cube root of a number on your calculator. And sometimes it will say things like round to the nearest hundredth. So the nearest hundredth would be decimal point, and then 2 places over would be the nearest hundredth. So pay attention to how you're reporting your answer when you have to do average rate of change.